In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about teaching ESL on the Outschool platform. I'll tell you my schedule, what has worked for me, and maybe some tips that might work for you. So if that's what you're interested, stick around. Like, what is this? My name is Miriam with somethingelementary.com. If you narrow down everything that I do, it's basically helping teachers, whether they're in the classroom transitioning out of the classroom or working online and making their lives easier for that. One of the things that I feel helped me leave the classroom was getting out of debt. Now, I did that back in 2018. At that time, I was not planning on leaving the field. I thought I would be there until I retired, and it's just something that happened. So my next video is going to be about my debt journey and how I did it, my budget at the time, what I was doing for work, as well as what happened after. So if that's a story that you would like to hear, make sure that you stick around for my next one, because it's a story that I like to share, and I wish financial freedom on every single person. Yes, even you, I wish it all. Speaking of helping teachers, I have started a commercial use Teachers Pay Teachers. It's not necessarily a store of its own. It is connected to my Teachers Pay Teachers for regular classroom teachers store. But I am creating kindergarten products that can be not resold, but could be distributed to your students as extra work. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure that you check out my Teachers Pay Teachers link below to save you a ton of time. Let's get into the video. So you want to teach ESL and you've looked at all these other platforms and you're just not sure which one, and you're like, ooh, Outschool, but I got to create my own lessons. Like, what is that about? Okay, so let me just tell you some things, okay? I do want to let you know, Outschool is not an ESL platform. So when you're thinking of applying, if you're coming from, like where I came from, a very prominent ESL company that kind of went under, apparently is still there, but no one knows. It's like Schrodinger's cat here. If that is you, do not apply telling Outschool that you want to teach ESL on the platform, as well as do not apply in your video, your teaching demo, being like you would for an ESL student. What I mean by that is speaking slowly, using lots of TPR and props, okay? Like, pizza, yeah. You will not get approved. They will shut you down. No one has quite said it out loud that it's taboo for ESL teachers to join, but I think a lot of the thought behind it is ESL teachers wanting easy money, flooding the platform, and then everybody trying to teach ESL and it just not being a good thing. So I tell my referrals, do not do all of that slow speaking stuff, TPR. Speak like you would if you were in an American classroom teaching kids who speak very good English. There are 174 countries on the platform and growing, but many of them speak very good English. So you don't have to speak very, very slowly. If you do want to teach ESL on the platform, please understand that it's not an easy moneymaker. Yes, there are classes that book a lot easier than others, but I mean, Outschool prides itself on offering quality teachers that give outstanding classes. All right. So when you think about teaching ESL, some of it can be easy, but don't think of it as I'm just going to get on there and, do something and it's going to be great. You're part of the team. Okay. So make sure that you're representing that team well. Okay, so let's think about some opportunities that you can do for ESL. You can do conversational English where you're just practicing speaking with the students. I know some people who do like themes. So each week they pick a theme, like we're going to talk about sports this week. We're going to talk about food this week. We're going to talk about whatever. And some who, like mine, is very laid back. We sometimes play games like Would You Rather, Truth or Dare. Sometimes we draw, sometimes we hop around. Like, it really depends on the situation. But a lot of mine have been with me for a year or more. So conversation, making them speak, making them have a good time, and socializing with others. That could be an option. Another option is if you actually want to teach a grammar class. You do have to be careful because of copyright laws. how you teach the material. Some of the new platforms out there don't allow you to use their curriculum on a third-party site like Outschool. Some of them do allow that, so you really have to look into what you can do for copyright. And as always, you can always create your own lessons. If you watched my previous lesson, I do offer a Google Slides course that you can take. So you can do art. Kids love art, so you can do a type of art class. I actually do a really fun one that I learned from TikTok. It's called Anything But, and so I give them a picture or a half of picture, and they have to draw anything except for that item. It is really fun, and it's also a social class, so they're also learning to speak. It's great for those shy learners, but also kids who like to draw. It's fantastic. You can do anything reading and phonics. I do younger kiddos, so that's the market that I have tapped into, but I'm sure I get a lot of kindergarten students from Korea or Hong Kong, and they are so above kindergarten. So maybe if you do like a first, second, third, reading or writing class, that could be desirable if you're offering it at times that other countries are able to take. You could do STEM classes, or I have a couple spelling classes where I get students from Australia. So there are several things that you can do to cater to those ESL students. When you're thinking about teaching your ESL students, you've got to know there are many students still learning or improving English that live right here in America. So you don't have to do the early morning or late evening times. Those are the times that I choose to do, but I've had several classes where I would teach in like mid-evening, and I would get people from Puerto Rico. I teach kids who live down in Argentina or Brazil or Peru. So you really can open them anytime. I'm about to show you what times have worked for me, but just as a little disclaimer. So you can open basically anytime that you would like. Just really think about the country or the region that you're wanting to serve, and then think about, are they in school right now? Is their country at home doing school? So you kind of have to just think about those times. I will say, go ahead and add an ESL disclaimer to some of your classes that you think could be offered in, using ESL. So a lot of mine, I have like some story classes, or I don't know, spelling. Basically any of my classes, I do add a disclaimer in there saying that this class is taught by an ESL teacher. It is ESL friendly, and of course I use those words, English as a second language, as well as ESL in parentheses, because that's going to help the search engine optimization find my classes. So I want to make sure that any class that they take, it is ESL friendly, and I will be able to accommodate them. So I do add that in there. All right, so let's talk about, before I get to the times, the countries that I usually serve in the morning time. So I live in Central Standard Time. So these are going to be my morning times. The majority of my clients come from Korea, but I have several students from Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan. I've got a few China. I've got Ukraine, Bulgaria, Belgium. Not too much Western Europe. I do have some later evening times that have caught some Australians in the morning time for their their morning homeschool. So that could be a time for you. All right, so let's take a look at my schedule. Remember, I do live in Central Standard Time. Here we go. On Mondays, I teach 3 types of classes. I teach my drawing class, a whole group speaking class, and then a one-to-one speaking class with one of my students. I talk about Avengers way too much. Every Monday at 6:15 is what I'm doing. So in case you're wondering. On Tuesdays, I teach a phonics class and a whole group conversation. Wednesdays and Fridays are some of my busiest days because I teach actually 3 one-to-one grammar classes, as well as a whole group conversation class. And then Thursdays is my low day. I just teach one conversation group class. So all 5 days I'm teaching a group class, and those group classes I only allow 5 students in because I want to make sure that everyone's getting a turn to talk and it's just not too overcrowded. And most of them are pretty much filled. So I can make anywhere from like $21 to $35 for that 30 minutes. All right, so you've heard what I have to say about ESL. I want you to think out of the box when it comes to ESL, because I know if you're like me, coming from a bigger platform where all I teach is ESL, having the freedom to come up with other ideas is intimidating. So I want you to think about how else can you teach English? You can bake cookies or cakes. You can teach math. You can teach going to a farm. You could go on field trips and teach those English vocabulary words. So be creative. Don't just think that you have to sit there and, say, I am, we are, he is, okay? Let's try to think out of the box. What can you offer in an English language that kids from around the world could enjoy? On the flip side, do you know any other languages that you could teach? Maybe you want to teach conversational French, and like kids who have been learning French come to your class to practice it. Like this would be cool too. So don't just think ESL. What talents do you have to bring to these kids? So let's spitball it. Comment below. Tell me your ideas. Let's get some ideas flowing. I love just collaborating with people. I met with someone today and we were like, wait a minute. Yeah. And then this and then that. And before we know it, I was like, man, I want to make that class. All right. So ideas are good. Let's share them. Okay. That's all I have for you today. If you want me to be your Outschool mentor, make sure that you click my link down below, but please email me. Y'all, I've had like 10 people click my link and I cannot contact you. I don't know your information. I don't know your last name. Sometimes your name is even anonymous. So if you want my help, please reach out. somethingelementary@gmail.com. Message me, email me, let me know that you're on my team. I've got a Facebook group for us. Like I've got a PDF document. I've got a digital creation course. Like I've got you. But you got to let me know. All right. So if you are on my team, make sure that you let me know. If you want to be on my team, click the link and email me. And if you want to see more videos about teaching in the classroom, teaching online, maybe how to get out of the classroom to online, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.